fell out the window, and so we're kind of replanning. Yeah. What the heck? I should have put a video. That was like roaching, dude. It was roaching.
Camera? Do that.
Awesome. So cool. Well, we are here with Mr. Josue. He is the, I guess we could say, co-founder with his wife Sarah of the Totally Fine Ministry, and I think that's where we'll leave it. New employee of Focus Catholic.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah. How you feel today?
Dude, you're the one on the couch, not him.
Good intro, Joe.
I'm just chilling, relaxing.
Feeling good. Yeah, feeling good.
Feeling good. Awesome.
Yeah. Excited to see what we're going to talk about.
I'm excited too to see what we talk about.
Same here, man. I don't even know sometimes.
I guess we could talk about. I mean, we should share Totally Fine.
No. So Totally Fine is a new initiative, correct? And how did it come to be? What is Totally Fine? How did it came to be? What is your passion about it? And what do you seek in terms of the future of Totally Fine?
Yeah. Well, it was officially born at a Thai restaurant. I don't know if Father Hau remembers that.
Yes.
I was there.
I was there, yeah.
Well, actually, I had emailed Father Hau in like August, I think it was. Or, yeah, around there, August. And I told him about an idea that I had. And initially, it was just supposed to be like a one-time, event for singles to just meet, mingle, and talk. And then Father responded, and he was like, you know what? I've been working on this document that has that's laying out kind of like the ideas that I have for an actual ministry. So why don't you just do a whole thing with it? I was like, whoa. All right, I guess. Well, let's have a meeting, and then so we want to go eat at a Thai restaurant over there in Loma Linda. I think it was Thai Spoon.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Thai Spoon there.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah,
wow.
They have multiple restaurants, but yeah, good restaurant. We want to go. We want to go have some lunch or some dinner there, and we were talking about some ideas that we had. That were kind of some ideas that I had, some ideas that he already had on paper, and I was like, "Whoa, this is kind of divine providence," because it was the same thing that we were kind of thinking of, but Father already had it on a document, right? And so. Yeah, that was like in August, and we were like, okay, well, let's do something. And the way that Father works is, you got to go.
Yeah.
You can't waste time.
I think he's got Heelys on his shoes all the time, dude.
Little feathers.
Little feathers.
That's awesome.
But so next month, September, that's when we officially started, figuring out details of what we can do for a kickoff, like an event. And so in September, that's when I started reaching out to people, see if they wanted to be a part of the team. And officially in October, we had our kickoff event. So that was like 2 months, less than 2 months actually, that from the moment we had that conversation to the moment we had that kickoff event. And now it's been a wild ride, but we're excited to see where it goes. Really, right now, what we're doing is mainly for like single people. So that they can meet other Catholic singles, in their area or wherever they may come from, and we're hoping to continue to follow with the young adults as they transition into dating. So we're planning to also do things for them, dating couples that start to transition into that, and then hopefully married couples as well. Right now, what we're focusing on is really just young adults that want to strive to live holier lives, right? But in the context of doing that in relationship with other people, not so much necessarily romantic. It could be, but just relationship with other people. And the foundation that we kind of set is just holy friendship, right? Holy relationship.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
I think it's very important today of just having, healthier places, I think, to meet up, more open places to meet up that that focus on those morals and those like values that, our faith like intertwines with. I feel like it starts, I think, even like in a school realm of like going to public school compared to a Catholic school, or going into a seminary instead of going into a college. Like, I think I've shared that before of like, you don't really have that opportunity to share your faith when you're actually struggling at a public school, because you want to lean on that faith, but yet your friend or that person or that classmate next to you just may not be as religious or spiritual as you. So it's just kind of hard to meet on that level. And I think when we're, going to a Totally Fine event or just any kind of church social event that is focused in that with that God center, I think it's more open to experience something a little more deeper than just on surface kind of relationship, on surface kind of friendship.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And a lot of times the difficulty is like going deeper, right? Because a lot of times people live on the surface level.
Yeah. And it's just vulnerability. People are scared to be vulnerable. I just had that conversation with my wife yesterday because we were just talking about, me being a husband, and it's like future father of like, I'm going to be that shepherd of the household. And we kind of went into that fun fact of, if a husband isn't as spiritual, like odds are the kids or the offsprings will actually be less spiritual. If the mom is more spiritual, I'm sorry, I just said all that wrong.
It makes sense.
Well, it was right.
It was making sense.
It was right. I doubled up on what I was going to say.
You had me.
Yeah. It's like if a father is more spiritual, the kid will be more spiritual. But if the mom is more spiritual than the father, odds are the kid actually will fall away from faith quicker.
Yeah, I mean the statistics show that if the head of the household father, is more in tune with their faith, the kids will follow with that.
Thanks, Josue. Thanks for the.
Which is true.
Unbutchering my fact. I appreciate it. That was a lot of word jargon. But and then it kind of went into that. I was just talking about my relationship with my father, and I was kind of like sharing those, not frustrations, but things of like, it'd be cool to kind of get on that level sometimes. When he was in the hospital, I was trying to kind of break down that wall of like, kind of get him to lean more into faith and like those things in those times of struggle. And it just kind of wasn't happening. And then that's where it kind of came to me. I was like, I think it must be really hard for a father to show that vulnerability and like that weakness in front of a son. And then that would be like my challenge to me and my future kid of like always being open to share that weakness and show that, we all struggle and we all need to lean on faith. We all need to lean on Jesus to take on that cross and to give up that cross, because he takes it for us, Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, faith is the center of our life as Catholics, and really relying on God. It gives us the ability to be open, even in the moments when we're afraid or scared, because dating is scary, right? Encountering that person, talk with a person is scary. And you see that in Totally Fine. A lot of times you see the anxiety. I feel the anxiety many times. Yeah. But it's important for us to go through that tension in order for us to realize, I'm not going to die if I ask this girl out. Right. And if she rejects me. I mean, that's out of my control. Right.
It'd be crazy if like lightning strikes if you every time you got like told no. Oh my God, could you imagine?
Dude, I'll be that burnt toast. I'll be that burnt toast back in the days. I'm like, triple.
That'd be crazy. But you do feel that. It is funny. Like the first 30-45 minutes I'm at a Totally Fine event, or it's kind of just like there's a little bit of an anxiety cloud, an attention cloud.
Feel the tension, definitely.
But then it loosens up. I mean, it's just like a small group at a retreat. It's like day 1 everyone's not talking, but then day 2 everyone's a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
And on the last day, no one wants to leave, and you're like, well, why weren't you like that on that? It's just like, I think it's hard for us to just give in completely right away,
It's I think it's hard to just show like sorry, my throat is itchy. I think it's hard to
it's itchy. Sorry, my throat, it's itchy.
A little I forgot.
Sorry.
I think it's
come on, Joe.
It's hard, like you were saying, Joe, to be vulnerable. It's hard to show who you are on the inside, and kind of when you do that, or the more you do that, people start to realize that it feels good. Like it feels like like something is off your shoulders. You've lifted something off, and people are just, they come in so tense, so scared, so nervous. But, once you start talking, letting people see the, who you are really, everything goes well from there. So.
But at the same time, like, being vulnerable sucks, man.
Oh yeah.
Like to show to somebody like who you are as a person, because sometimes if you're not comfortable with yourself and you're showing to somebody your true self, you feel like you're naked. Right? And it feels scary. Like for me, and when I go home sometimes I beat myself up, like, oh, why did I say that? Why did I stutter? Right? Or why did I approach that girl that was probably like wanting me to approach her? Who knows? Right? But it's scary. Did that trigger a memory, Joe?
PTSD.
Oh, that's just funny. I don't know why that's so funny. I'm just kidding. It is actually, I guess, a trigger, but it's because I laugh because it's like so funny. It's just like because we all experienced that, or like all those like crazy worries of things that just aren't really. They don't even actually exist, and yet we just throw them in our reality and inside of us.
Yeah, it's hard to break away from it though.
Oh yeah.
Like I try to like self-convince myself in the past a lot of times. It never works. You said like, you go up to that person.
Today, Junior.
Or you go up to that person like, how you doing? And she goes, okay.
What?
And the conversation ends.
Yeah.
It's so awkward. The awkwardness is crazy. It kills me.
Yeah.
I hate awkwardness. Even though I'm an awkward person.
It's only awkward if you make it, though. And that's the thing. People have to like learn. You have to kind of learn how to not be awkward.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you just got to tell yourself. Yeah.
Just like,
it's a lot of like a self-esteem, self-confidence, I think, thing that lacks in people sometimes. I mean, all of us. I mean, me too. But it's because I think that's where that awkwardness comes is like right now. No, it's just like, I feel like in my past I would be like, because I am an awkward. I think it's like I would say I'm awkward, but then as time went on, it's like I'm not really awkward. It's more of just like I just think everything's funny, and it's more of a different word instead of it being awkward. It may make someone feel awkward, but it's like, dude, I'm just having a good time. Like I can't.
Bro, you're awkward. I mean, don't you try to convince yourself you're awkward, dude. I was like, bro. I was like, dude, you're trying to convince yourself you're not awkward. That's awkward, man.
I am awkward. I know I'm awkward.
Yeah.
But it's like it's awkward for those other people. Dude. For me, it's more of just like, dude, I'm just laughing at myself. I'm laughing at what's happening. Like it doesn't feel awkward to me. It feels awkward to it feels awkward to you.
Cause you're awkward. You're just affirming to me that you're awkward, man. Oh my gosh.
I don't know how else to word it. I'm saying like you don't need to worry about it.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about it. Yeah, they're right.
Because it's like I don't find it awkward. I find it funny. But I'm Joe Bedard and I'm awkward. Like I know.
But others may not, and then you may start to think like, okay, what is this person thinking? And then that's when you start to get in your thoughts.
Yeah. But that's why like I've like kind of cut that out because it used to be like that, and now it's just more of just like what, I am who I am.
Yeah.
And I gotta just always look forward and not look back at like what was said, what wasn't said, and just you gotta look to the present time and that's where the vulnerability comes in of just like if you are vulnerable, I think that's where you kind of make your relationships a little more simpler, because if you're being just your true self and that person just kind of rejects you, it's like, well, obviously then that just person doesn't like already who I actually am. Why would it that relationship wouldn't get you won't get anything out of that relationship, nor can you give anything into that relationship, because I've shown you who I am, and if you don't appreciate that or agree with it, it's kind of hard to build a foundation there.
Yeah, I think the important thing with this too that I like that I've been thinking about more recently too is that you can't really go into a conversation with someone else expecting expecting something in return and having that like that mentality that you know you're going in for something and you got to get that in return or something. So it's like many of the times when you approach someone that you don't even know, right, and you're just trying to like talk to them or just see if it'll build a friendship or connection or anything like that, you just got to let go of your expectations of it. And don't expect them to like, you know, like you. They may not, right? Or you know, go on or set up a date right then and there. It's just like let go of the expectation and just freely see them as a son, a daughter of God, and then just have a conversation like that.
Yeah.
Because
I agree with that because I mean I feel like when I stopped trying to like find a partner or find that kind of stuff, like that's when kind of Lori appeared in my life. And I mean she appeared in my life as more just a coworker. Like I didn't really look at her in that kind of way of actual attraction, but just more of just like, you know, you're just here because you're just a coworker. I don't know. Like you just came into my life because Macaroni Girl hired you. I don't know. But then it became, you know, once you started to understand who she was as days, you know, and months go by and she starts going out with, you know, the group and everything, it was like, oh, this person's actually kind of cool. And then it kind of grew into the more of like, I'm actually attracted to you. But then, I mean, she said she rejected me like 3-4 times before we actually went on a first date. And then our first date, she even changed the location on me to Macaroni Grill. She made me go on our first date at the place we worked. And everybody came and hung out with us. And I was like, dude, I was so mad. She was like, you going to go downtown with us, all of us after? I'm like, no, I'm going home. I don't feel good.
I don't feel good.
Hey, Lori.
But, you know, but through that, it's like, I'm glad that story went that way because it made it more natural when she did start to come into that realization of like, oh, Joe's actually that kind of person I could see myself with. It became more organic and more natural of a growth than me like just hounding on her to make her feel that way.
And I think it's important too to like, just with dating too, like where you were mentioning with Lori, a lot of people, they want to go straight to like the one-on-one with this person. A lot of the times to ease that tension and the nerves, just do a group setting, right? With like friends or a lot of that helps a lot.
Because you show yourself, I think, truly more when your friends are around, people, you know? Right. When it's one-on-one, you have to be, you know, I'm Bond, James Bond. And it's like, dude, no, you're not. I'm not.
I mean, of course not. You're Bernard. It's Joe Bernard.
Yeah.
You haven't. It's like because you haven't seen me all week. It's like you just saved up all the roasting for 1 week into one day.
On the flight over, Father was like, "He's all right. I had a whole notebook.
It's a big spider web map of Joe. Awkward.
Awkward. Even now, that's very awkward. That idea is awkward. So how do you diffuse the awkwardness? Like, how if like you meet that person and you become awkward? Like, how do you diffuse that? You just accept it, or do you like go in your restroom and cry? Oh, thank you. That's awkward.
Go in the restroom and cry.
Yeah.
How do you diffuse the awkwardness? Is that what you asked?
Diffuse it, yeah. Because it's hard. Like,
that's awkward. Yeah. Awkward silence.
Yeah.
Like, do you pray Hail Mary?
I mean, that could work. Yeah. That's a good. You have to. I don't know. It's like. I guess I've never really been in awkward situations. I just like try to like divert myself from that. But you just like, if there's silence, it's just a matter of like embracing it. And I think it goes down to like knowing who you are truly. Because like if you know who you are, you know, like myself, I'm a son first of Christ. I'm a son of God. I know my identity. I know that what I'm doing, or like if I'm doing something in that moment, nothing is wrong.
It's not a sin.
It's not a sin, right? Like I'm not thinking things that I shouldn't be thinking. Like everything is perfectly fine. Then I'm at peace with myself, and so nothing is wrong with me. So what's wrong with the situation? So like, okay, maybe this person, I don't know, maybe they're just really, really shy, and that's okay. That doesn't mean that they're awkward. So just embrace that, I guess, silence, and try to see what you can do, I don't know, to really make them break that shell of the shyness or what might be blocking that.
I think the silence is like the biggest thing in that, of just being comfortable in silence. Because, you know, I'm not the most silent person, nor was I like comfortable in it. Like sitting in a car, driving with someone, it's like, and you're not talking to each other. Like that used to be really weird to me. Like I would just be like, what the heck is going on? Like, are you okay? Are you mad? Like, what is going on? Yeah. But then you come to realize like that's actually I think that's a fact of when you're actually in a car with someone, you don't have to talk to that person. You're actually more comfortable with that person than with someone that you have to continue a conversation with, because you can truly just kind of be in their presence and just be comfortable in their presence without having to kind of like prove it with language. But it's hard. Yeah, it's hard for me. I think the one I struggle with the most in that is like when I'm just kind of dealing with someone who's super shy.
It might also be like they just like if it's someone that I completely don't know or stranger.
Oh yeah, like the small talk. Oh my gosh, I hate
it. So I think just addressing it probably. Like, did I do anything to kind of like throw you off?
Yeah,
you know,
because we can't control those people. Yeah. You can't control the outer factors that are happening with around you, or you know, who you're conversing with. Yeah. So I think it just kind of comes down to that. I think to just be more comfortable, like what Josue is saying, just be more comfortable within yourself and understand that, like, you know, you can't really change what's happening around you, but you can change your thought process of that situation.
Yeah, and then if you're fully comfortable with yourself, then you're like, okay, I know what I'm doing isn't wrong. I'm doing all that I could do humanly possible, right? So then at that point, you just ask the other person, is it something that I said, you know, or how are you feeling?
But a lot of people do struggle with that.
And then just go from there.
A lot of people are anxious, so it's really hard to fight that.
Yeah, anxiety overcomes that person. Yeah. And it's the fight or flight response, right?
Yeah, and I think that happens a lot today, just in society, like with societal issues that we deal with today, of just like if your friend feels this way, I feel like a lot of people kind of now just go like, oh yeah, I agree with you, because they don't want to even be that different person or go against the grain these days.
Yeah. They don't want conflict.
Yeah, conflict, which is ironic because like, you know, a lot of those people want to go against the grain, but yet they're all going the same way, even though they think they're fighting the system. Yeah, it's just kind of ironic to me. It's ironic to me that like the church and like religious, spiritual Christian people are the ones now going against the grain in a way. I mean, especially in California, I guess. Not really. I can't speak for Arkansas, but I don't know.
Arkansas.
I just picked the most random state that's far from California. Okay,
that's awkward.
I think I know the title of this podcast.
Yeah. ...
I'm gonna put awk ...
So yeah, so like, how do you overcome?
I have a question.
That thirst.
Okay, we'll talk about yours first. That thirst.
Yeah, because sometimes you're like, you coming in, you're like, oh man, I just want to find somebody who's Catholic, who's loving, who's, you know, obedient to God. Right? How do you overcome that desire to find that person and just let it be? Right? Because sometimes, you know, I talk to some girls, they're like, oh, you know, the guy I'm looking for is blah 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 blah. I'm like, oh, that's Jesus. Right? Nobody's perfect like that.
Yeah.
Like, so how do you overcome that? Or is it something to overcome? Maybe it's just to accept. I don't know.
I think it's something to accept, because everyone you even the people you marry, there's gonna be a moment where you're like, man, I really wish you weren't like that way when it comes to something in the house or those kind of things. But it's like, those are just interior battles that you have to work with each other and just communicate those things. So, because like what you just said, people aren't perfect. So if you're waiting for that perfect person, like, it's probably not going to happen. And then you end up kind of alone and not old yet, but I mean, because I don't know how old these people are, but you're going to just end up kind of alone and always kind of searching for that perfect person. And it's just not really going to be there, because you're going to find something wrong with everybody you meet.
But I think there's like a deal breaker too, right? There's like one trait that's a deal breaker.
Oh yeah.
For everybody.
There are definitely deal breakers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for people. Yeah. But you just have to also not be, like you said, I mean, if you're like ladies, if you're looking for a specific type of guy with the rundown of list, that's
especially
Jesus.
Ladies looking for a dude, because man, we're hard. We're hard to live with, and we're hard to like deal with, man. Like we are.
It's just like Joe mentioned with Lori, you know, like you got to be willing to not go in with the expectation of finding someone that's going to meet every single bullet point, or at least the idea of the person that you're trying to find. Yeah. Because at the moment that you least expect, just like with Lori too, you might find that person that's right in front of you.
Well, my favorite way to kind of look at it is you know, these girls you're talking about looking for that perfect guy, and you're like, well, that's Jesus. So I think the next step from there would be, what kind of guy can I meet to get me to that perfect guy, to get me to Jesus?
I like that.
Because that's the only, you know, that's the only way I think your relationship will survive as long as you want it to, is because if you guys have that God-centered focus of getting each other to heaven, which is a totally fine mission, you know, we have little stickers, me, you, heaven. It's like, I think that's the ultimate goal of love on earth for us right now, is that, you know, because we can sacrificially love each other to get each other to heaven.
That's marriage.
That's marriage. Yeah.
And so I think that's probably the
Webster Dictionary defines marriage.
That should probably be the only deal breaker right there.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Like, is this person going to lead me closer to Christ? And can I walk with them for a lifelong journey, wherever that may end?
I think that's where Totally Fine is so like effective. Like when the very first time I ever went to one of the events, it was like, man, you just saw all these people who are just thirsty for that relationship. They were thirsty, but they're thirsty for that relationship of something, a relationship that can go deeper than just kind of that materialistic relationship that we see so much today on social media. All those kind of, they're just the celebrity relationship, I guess I call it, but it's just like, those aren't very real and those aren't very deep to where they're going to better you, I think, every day. I mean, in marriage, it's like every day you're kind of getting better. Every day you kind of learn something about yourself, but also each other. So it's kind of it's a heck of a journey. It really is. I forgot my question. I want to hear like a priest POV of, man, what was the first question you asked us? Of the awkward situations of like, how do priests fight with those awkward situations at random like little church events? Even like in mass, maybe? Like, is there any like awkward moments in mass that have ever happened?
Oh yeah, I mean, I have like sometimes, you know, people winking at me during my homilies. I mean, that's awkward. That's like, you know, like I don't know that I'm gonna do that. So. Like, I don't know if they're trying to throw me off or like, oh, you're doing a good job. Like, you know. That's awesome. But all I do is like, oh, that's awkward, and you just move on, right? Yeah. And I just take the situation lightly. Like, don't make sense of it. Like, don't overevaluate, don't ruminate all these thoughts that perhaps are negative or even like not even true. So what I focus on is on God. Why am I here? I'm doing it for God, right? Even if it's like, for example, Totally Fine. Why am I here putting this group on? It's because God wants what is holy. God wants people to be closer to himself. Yeah. Right? And so that awkwardness is really taken away when I realize, my intent is filled with love. Right? And sometimes it's going to come out awkward. I'm an awkward person sometimes, you know? And sometimes I say things and, that's pretty funny. But people may realize, that's awkward. You know?
See, you just said what I said. You awkward, dog.
I am awkward. Yeah. I just didn't want to justify that I wasn't. You know, I didn't beat around the bush like somebody. You know, you wrote like a whole novel on what it means to be not awkward. And but in the end, you're awkward. Oh my gosh! Like
full circle.
I know. Just give me the first chapter already.
So you went around.
Circular reasoning.
Straight through.
I'm awkward. Because what is awkward? Really, you think about what is being awkward.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Is like, I think awkward.
Going against the grain.
It could be going against the grain. These days, it could just be that.
The norm.
I think awkward is now just when you make someone else uncomfortable, and it's just like, if I'm not uncomfortable, why does that make me awkward? When it's like, man, you're the one thinking that I'm just like laughing at nothing. I don't know.
I'm gonna look this up in the dictionary.
The dictionary.
What is awkward?
What is awkward? It's just gonna be a picture of Father Hau.
Pointing at Joe. Got you there, bro. Got you there, bro.
You just need to include silence.
I'm putting so many cricket sound bites in this. It's gonna be
okay. This is causing difficulty, hard to do or deal with, causing or feeling embarrassment or inconvenience.
See, like that. Like I think that's a great word for that.
Yeah.
Inconvenience. Like you're
Not smooth or graceful.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. That is Joe.
That's you, bro. Not smooth or graceful. Abnormal. Oh my god. Oh, dude.
We're gonna cut.
It's all.
Yo.
I think that last one. Let's type back in.
Abnormal.
Josue's trying to keep the show going more than us.
Abnormal, right? Going against the grain of what
Yeah.
society thinks is normal. So like, there's no like. You can think someone's awkward, but someone else might not think that.
Yeah, that's awkward's relative, I guess. Maybe.
So,
Yeah, it can be relative.
and honestly, it's just a matter, like, when it comes down to it, find that person that's awkward with you.
Yeah, be awkward
If they
together.
embrace your awkwardness, then
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe that's that person for you.
So what is accepted isn't awkward. What is normal isn't awkward.
Isn't awkward. Yeah.
Isn't awkward, right? So
because when people look at, you could look at something that's kind of crooked, like even just say, a table or something. If it's kind of you can say like, oh, that's awkward. Like it looks a little awkward to me.
It's
Like when
not-
people
it's not
put up a
normal.
picture and they have it on the wall and it's not straight and they're like, it looks kind of awkward to me.
no.
Yeah.
Are we all just pictures hanging on a wall? And some of us are straight and some of us are crooked,
Yeah.
dude. That's deep.
Yeah, like I look at Joe's handwriting here. It's like, that's awkward.
That's Father Howe's handwriting.
Oh.
I literally give him the marker. I'm like, I'm not drawing on this. We will not know what it says. We will not know what it says.
Wrong mirror, the other one over there.
That's Father House. Gets in here, he's like, okay, Joe, we are going to do this.
Oh, trust me, that's readable. The reason why it's all mine because his writing's really awkward, really abnormal, dude.
It's bad. It's hieroglyphic,
No,
dude.
yeah, I can read it. I can read it.
Even the Egyptian had trouble reading his writing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Awkward is
I like
awkward
working
is-
here.
Awkward is human, dude. Humans are awkward.
just human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God isn't awkward.
But that's why I say what I say of like, you got to just not think you're awkward because that's who you are.
No.
So it's like,
Yeah.
they may say you're awkward, but we just learned that awkward is
Not being graceful.
not being graceful, not being smooth,
Yeah,
not being being inconvenient. I never feel like I inconvenience myself. I mean, unless like I'm just being stupid and just like angry for no reason, those kind of things. But those are sinful things, and it's like you're not supposed to be that way. That's why you go to confession, and it's like you can almost look at being in sin is like that's your awkward. And going to confession is releasing that awkwardness from you, so you can be that true, confident person that that you are within, and not be awkward anymore.
Sin is that negative awkwardness.
Yeah,
Right?
negative awkward.
Because there is a positive awkwardness.
Yeah.
I would say.
Oh yeah, like I think we're positively awkward.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Even though you have like the reptile lap on your face.
I just
that reptile lap is getting me. My brother used to have a turtle, dude.
dude, it's accenting the red end on
My
the.
brother used to have a turtle, dude. And it reminds me of the red light he used to have in his.
You don't use red. I use red light in our room.
Oh, that's,
Red light's good for you. Red light makes you sleepy.
yeah, you're right. I can't deny that.
Red light isn't awkward.
Red light isn't awkward.
That's true.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Well, so totally time. What do we have to look forward to?
Yeah, what's new? What's new? What's the scoop? What's the scuttlebutt?
Well, as we there are
Still red light, everybody.
more single people that are beginning to find each other through the single events that we do speed faithing within Totally Thine. And so as we're seeing young adults start to pair up and start to date, start to get to know each other, we're gonna roll out an event for dating couples, and we're thinking of calling it the Cana Experience. And so within this event, it's kind of like a 21st century being invited to the wedding of Cana, but within our context of today. And so there's going to be, wine, obviously.
It's going to be water first, but...
Well, water, yeah. And then we're going to have Father Hau, bless it. Abundance of wine. And yeah, there's going to be Mary will be there in some way, some form.
A puppy?
We'll fully disclose that later on. Flowers as well. Incorporate flowers for not only, our Blessed Mother at that wedding of Cana experience, but also to your date, bring your date. She also gets flowers in some way.
That's cool.
So,
I like that.
so we're going to do that. There's going to be some light food for the couples that come out. And at the very end, we get to meet face to face Christ in the Blessed Sacrament. And so a special moment for couples to really consecrate their dating phase to Christ, so that they can continue to be guided by his guidance, his love as they continue forward. Because ultimately, what they should be striving for at that stage, which technically it could be dating, could be courting, which is a whole other topic. But in the courting phase, they're striving for that marriage, right? To lead into that marriage, which is a sacrament within our church. And so we want to really emphasize that stage, which is important, because that, in my opinion, that stage there is the marriage, the true marriage preparation. It's not the preparation that you do right before you get married. So that really leads into that importance of the sacrament, understanding from that very early on phase or early stage, wherever you may be, that what we're striving for with my dating partner here and my courting partner is that we're working and walking towards marriage. And so there could be certain things in that marriage, in that dating relationship, that you might be called, you might feel during this experience, the Cana experience, to kind of let go of. And this is really the moment to do that, because in wedding of Cana, God, that was his first public miracle. But beyond that miracle, what happened is that water turned to wine, and there was abundance of it. So if we trust in the Lord to really change and work in a specific area of our lives, we give it to him, there will be abundance of what he has in store for us. So
I like that a lot.
yeah.
Now I'm thinking of like a slogan of it: thirsty into quenched or something.
Yeah.
That's just
We're gonna soft launch it
those
in May.
dualities. Soft launch.
Soft
For the
launch.
Gen Zers. So soft launch in May.
We're going to soft launch it.
Be
in
on
May.
the lookout for that.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thirsty to quenched. I like that. From thirst to quench.
From thirst to quench. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and there's really a lot of great ideas that we're hoping to bring out of this.
Man, you could go even crazier, like with the dating or building that relationship. It's like turn that relationship from water to wine, where water is not very flavorful. Water does obviously give us life, but wine has that that flavor, that character, that I don't know. That'd be kind of cool too.
Yeah.
I think thirst quench was better.
Possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I like it because ending in adoration, those kind of things. It's like that's kind of what we were talking about earlier, of just like it will show that couple that it's like okay to have sometimes indifferences, but to remember if we both keep our eyes on Christ throughout our relationship, he will take care of it. Whether that means it doesn't work out for the good, or if it does work out for the good. Yeah. So
yeah, and that's the hope, and it's a special form of adoration that we're planning specifically for couples to bless their dating phase. And it could very well mean, maybe this person is not for me, and that's totally fine, because I get it totally.
That's totally fine. That's totally fine.
I like that. Rings.
It's fine because it's better to know that at this phase, and you're engaged, you're getting ready for marriage. And, that person's not for you.
Very true.
So we're really inviting couples at this Cana experience to really examine what it is that they have to let go of in their dating phase. It could be maybe that specific sin that they keep falling into as a couple, or separately from each other, and ask Christ, work in our lives together so that we can, grow holier as a dating couple, but also individuals as we keep walking towards marriage. So,
Beautiful.
yeah. And then, beyond that, just within the Totally Thine as well, a lot of people, older people, have been asking, what about us, You're doing a lot of stuff for the young adults, but what about us that are 40, 50? And we're like, well, we got to get there first. We'll see. But it's really, I think it just points to the importance of people at whatever age they're in of relationship.
Yeah.
And people, they crave it, right? We're all meant for relationship. We were created from relationship, so we all crave it. So really, at any stage in life, I mean, whether you're single, you're dating, you're married, you're a priest, you're a nun, you're Pope Francis, we all crave it. So how is it that we can include people at different areas of life that we can also walk with them? So we're thinking about it. We don't really know what the future holds, but hopefully God can direct us.
Wonderful.
Beautiful. Well, cool. Check them out. Totally Fine. Is this at Totally Fine on Instagram? Yeah. Sick.
At Totally Fine.
At Totally Fine. And come, be open, be awkward, because being awkward is okay. And find the person you want to be awkward with. Find the person that through that awkwardness you're going to make, a powerful weapon to be examples of Christ and examples of Christ's love. So with that, we say stay fresh.
And stay faithful. God bless.
That was quick.
It was that fast.
Yeah.
Majority of the time, we just Joe being awkward, but...